to Leadership Live, where we help you to lead better and live better. Now,
Mm,
what happens when everything is going along as a leader and life throws you a curveball? Well, that's something we're going to be talking about today, getting into how to deal with uncertainty and overcoming and defeating leadership fatigue. And with me, surprise co-host Alex Kutsishin, the head of Fuel. Now, if you came here expecting Meredith Elliott Powell, you're in the right place. We're just a I don't want to say an alternate universe version of Meredith, but true to the theme of dealing with the unexpected, Meredith
yes.
couldn't be with us today. So you're going to get some really fun stuff from me, Donnie Tuttle, and Alex Kutsishin. I think between the two of us, Alex, we've worked with hundreds, thousands of leaders that have handled
No
moments just
question.
like this, and we get to do it live time.
Oh
And
my
and I
gosh.
will say, if you're watching and listening, this is a time where you get to chime in, throw your questions at us. We'll be happy to answer. But we're going to be talking
Yes.
about what leaders can do to be more effective and to get their jobs done, get their work done with ease and not fatigue. Alex, thanks for hanging with me, dude.
Man, thanks for letting me hang. I am deeply sorry for everyone who came to see Meredith, and you have to see me. But I promise we will do our best to not just entertain, but give you things you could do right now today. No, with some of the things that we would have heard from Meredith about uncertainty. As a matter of fact, we are going to use Meredith AI and interview her and ask her some questions so that we can hear some of these unique approaches to dealing with uncertainty. As a matter of fact, she could even do an exercise with us, so
Oh,
we can
that's
choose that. I know she's capable of that. So welcome everybody, and Donnie, thank you for having me. And Meredith couldn't make it for she's got something going on all of a sudden. It was a last minute thing, but we'll make the best of it here.
well. As we jump into this, I want you to think, if you're watching, if you're listening, I want you to think about a time where you really, really, really meant well. You wanted something to happen. You saw the flag in the distance. You were going to run up that hill as I forget the name of the who's the person that sings "Running Up That Hill" from Stranger Things, but
Oh my
you're running
gosh,
up,
I wish I
running
knew.
up the hill.
Anyone know?
Okay,
Please place that in here. Put it in
you're you're
chat.
you're running up the hill, and then you take a hit, and then you take another hit, and then you take another hit, and what seemed so clear and doable at one point suddenly just feels like fatigue and heaviness. And sometimes, by the way, Alex, I, as you guys imagine those things, it's easy to blame other people and say, well, it's this person that's made me do this, and this person, and this event, and it's the economy, and it's all of these other things. But what if I told you that there are some things that you could and should be doing as a leader to lighten your load so that you're
Hmm.
not carrying the weight of your team and the weight of the world with you as you go? And Alex, I had one of those happen to me just recently. I'll share with you in
Mm.
just a minute.
Yeah, I mean, look, it's as Meredith talks about that there's a huge competitive advantage in uncertainty. Okay, and knowing how to be in that uncertainty, and I think those leaders that take these moments and go, this is an opportunity, right? Those are the ones that help their organizations themselves uh, set actually new records because in times where everyone else is pulling back and not sure, those that see these opportunities as exactly that, they
Mm-hmm.
turn them into that, right?
Mm-hmm.
And so, it's all about your perspective. It's all about your perspective. If you're looking at uncertainty and a challenge as a problem, then it will be a problem. If you see it as an opportunity, it will be that too.
100%. There are three words I'm going to throw at you, and maybe we'll get to these later. And they all come from the same Latin origin.
I'm going to write them in chat just so we
Ready? Here
have
we
it
go. All
saved
right, here
here.
we go. Mission. The next one is commission. And the third
Commission.
one, mission, commission,
Hmm.
permission. So
Mm.
I was talking to someone, and we had financial advisor, actually, and a dear friend of mine. and he actually gave me something, and then he told me the deadline,
Hmm.
Alex. And he pushes through. It was really important to him. It was important to me as well. But
Hmm.
he told me to do this by Monday.
Mm. Okay.
Tuesday gets here, and I'm like, I didn't do what he told me to do by Monday. And I'm
Mm.
wondering if anyone's ever had that where you're coaching, managing, leading someone, and they didn't come through for you.
Mm.
I've had that happen to
Oh,
me
I'd love
before.
to see that. I'd love to see that in
So
chat. Anyone that wants to be a little vulnerable and share. I mean, of course, it's almost an obvious, but of course,
so
but keep going.
yeah. So here's what happened. So he had a mission, and I had a mission, by the way. So a mission is comes from the word mittere, Latin word, which means to throw. Or
Mm.
actually, and it combined with it, it was a religious context. Like I'm going to go here, I'm throwing this into this place, like this into this other land, and that's really also it comes from
Where
the same
mission
word
came
as
from.
promise. So promise means to
Hmm.
throw into the future. Mission is just like
Hmm.
to throw forth. Well,
Mm.
we both said, yep. Okay, so now since we're both doing it, we both agreed on the mission. Now that becomes a what? Co-mission, right?
Oh,
So if
I
you're
see. Look
you're
at you. You're
you're
going through the process. Yes.
yeah, so if you're
I see
clear with
people
the
just
mission,
joined. This is good. This is good.
yeah,
This is good for
you
you to,
you
yes. Okay.
you can invite people into now a co-mission. And if you're someone that your team is all scattered, you probably don't have a clear mission that people can join you in a co-mission. But he had those things. We had those things. Alex, here's where he messed up, and I let him mess up. And I love this guy too.
Hmm.
And like, I hope I get another chance, right? And I'm
Yeah.
sure I will. Um, the third one is permission.
Mm.
Now, the thing is like I think if you have a mission, you don't have to ask permission from people. And so if you want to have that passionate leadership, be clear on your mission.
Mm.
But there's also another side of permission too. And this is what we do as leaders. And this is what he did. And maybe I can maybe fix this for some people right now.
Yeah, I'd love for people to start to use this. Like what you're talking, I'd love to give them a useful, because that's the whole purpose of these things, right? And so I keep going. I'm
Yep.
really intrigued.
Well, and I will say, like, what's the one way to deal with unexpected is that you have something that stays the same even though situations change. Well,
Hmm.
what stays the
Hmm.
same? Mission does. So, but this guy forgot to get my permission,
Mm.
Alex. He told me Monday, and in my mind, it felt uncomfortable that I was being told Monday. I love this guy. I didn't want to let him down. I'm like, okay, I didn't think about it, but I just went along. And sometimes people who love us go along with us. This
Yeah,
is
that's
what I
right.
did. And the truth was, I had a crazy schedule, and I wasn't going to give this the 3 or 4 hours that it required for me to get through all of this stuff that he gave to me. If you've ever done that, you're just like me and Alex and anyone else that's told someone to do something by
Yeah.
a certain time. If he had said to me, Donnie, is this the right? Do you want to do this? Is this important? Yeah, that's my mission. Great. So we agree together. This is the right thing. Yeah, we're on a
Co-mission.
co-mission. Great. So Donnie, when's a reasonable time? When can you get this done by? When can you put this on your schedule? So instead of telling me when to do it, I may have come up with the same answer, Alex, but if he had asked
Yeah.
me to do it, he would have gotten my buy-in. And that other word, that fourth word that I meant to mention, which is a promise, actually connected to this, means the same thing.
Mm.
My promise, I don't want to break. His promise, I can break. My promise, I don't. But it's just one of those things, like as a leader, if you want to, one thing, if you want to overcome some of the unexpected, maybe don't create it in your life. And sometimes we create it because we're telling people what to do instead of just allowing them to be bought into a commission. So this is live time. This happened today, and here we are. I get to talk. I don't normally like to talk when I have guests on because I want to hear about what they have to say, but maybe that helps a person or two.
Well, no, I mean, that's the exact purpose of this conversation. It's designed to help everyone that just listened to that, because here is what you just said to everyone here. And again, feel free to chime in and jump in with questions and ideas and all those good things. What you just exposed very clearly is that leaders think they know. And, okay, we as leaders, we as leaders believe we should know. It is our job to know everything. That's our job. That's not true though. Okay? That's not true, and you just exposed that. Mission, co-mission, permission. We need to do this. I agree. Boom. You'll be shocked. Okay. Hey, everyone here. This is the takeaway that you can use right now, today. If you have things you need to get your team bought into today, right now, this is what you can do today, right now. Exactly what Donnie just said. You need something done, agree, and then ask them. You might be shocked. You said Monday? Donnie may have been like, oh, I'll do it tonight. But you would have said Monday. You would have said Monday as a leader. You would have said Monday, and you would have missed an opportunity for Donnie to be like, "Oh, this is right up. This warms me up. I'll complete what I had to do. I'll do this as extra because I like this." You don't know that, but leaders just assume if I got to tell them a date, or I got to tell them a thing or a certain way, or and often. And so this is the key takeaway here that can be applied today. When you have a task for someone, I love the mission co-mission. All right, everybody, like seriously, that's such an easy application. Mission, my mission is this. You agree? Okay, we're aligned. And now, how do you see yourself completing this mission?
It's
And
it's
right?
it's interesting because as you said that, yeah, like I think that part of the weight that we carry, Alex, is like that, like you said, like I have to be the one that knows it all. Like we're gonna be doing some Christmas stuff, and dude, 100%, I'm gonna show up with Santa, like the Santa Claus suit. I'm running the events, like, but that's partly because I want to, not because I have to. But a lot of times, leaders, I was working with one guy, and he said, Donnie, I'm so tired of always giving like these rah-rah speeches, and like I feel like everyone's looking to me, and I hate these moments. I said, well, John, what do you want to do? He said, really? I just want to go nerd out and make systems for about a month, go disappear into a cave and do it.
Hmm.
And he stopped being the guy that everyone that he thought he had to be, and he went and he did this other thing. His business grew 10x that year from the systems that he created. But what you were saying almost reminding me of a negotiation. Like what do they say when you're negotiating for a price on a car? Like it or like in like who's the first person that should speak in a negotiation? Like if what's your goal? Like a
Like,
price. Like
oh, the first to speak. You're saying once you've gotten to a certain part in the negotiation, the first to speak is kind of gives away the advantage.
right.
Is that what you're
And
saying?
so, yeah, it's kind of like the same,
Yeah,
right? So, well, Alex, like, what's this car worth to you? And you tell me 10,000, but I would have been willing to pay, give it to you for five. Like, it's like
exactly. Yes,
it's the same
yes.
thing we just did with time and accountability. It's like, okay, great. You agree that this is important. When will you do this? And sometimes Alex, maybe they say, well, I'll do it Wednesday. I'm like, ooh, Alex, is it like, is
Right.
like,
That's it.
and
There you
and I can
go.
start pulling back from that. Alex, is that as soon as you can do it? Do you think it's like, do you feel like that's the best? And so maybe we can have a conversation, but you have to be the starting point for us to anchor that into, not me.
Yeah, I love that, and maybe that's a great place to go too. And by the way, everyone, we can also put a thumbs up in chat if you want us to actually engage with Meredith AI and some questions and ask her, to help us with this conversation. She couldn't be here today. She was supposed to be here today, but she had something come up last minute, and so we
There-
don't have the live Meredith. We'll have her rescheduled for sometime New Year, but we can ask her here as well. So I just if you want to see some engagement, give me some thumbs up. We'll get to her, but I want to go to what you just said for a moment. And I think the example you gave is a real example that people feel all the time. Again, people thumbs up, give yes. Let's hear more about it. What are your thoughts? Uh, you ask someone, and they give you an answer of timeline that doesn't fit what you had in your mind. How do you address that without shaming, guilting, accusing, just forcing, because you came up with this thing that you needed, that this person or this group had no clue you were going to ask them that day, and now you're mad because when you ask them, they're not available to do it. And so, how do you not get mad, right? How do
right.
you again use that momentum? And so, what is a good approach there? To take someone that said Wednesday, and you in your mind had Monday. How do you get them to Monday without being like, dude, what are you slacking? What do you don't see the value in this? You don't get it, right? So what do you think? And the reason we can ask
I,
you, Donnie, is this is what you do for a living. You help
it
you
is.
help people in these exact scenarios.
And I wish that I always did it right, Alex, but I mean, things get the better of me as well. I would say that I would look at, there's a word that, as you can tell, I'm a word nerd, but there's a word that I didn't like for a while, but it's actually the right word. Um, think of the word training.
Hmm.
And sometimes when we think of that, it feels like it has a negative connotation, like someone's telling you what to do. But the word actually comes from the word to draw, like the train of a woman's wedding gown, like it flows from behind her. And so
Hmm.
if we can think of it as like the reality is every single thing on the face of the planet that a human being ever does is voluntary. So how
Hmm.
can I get you to volunteer? And the best way is to create an energy that you can flow with. And so if I have a different thought, I might even share like Alex, like, dude, that's okay. So you can get it done by Tuesday. Awesome. Is there any chance you could get it done sooner? Right.
Hmm.
I'm going to ask if we
Okay,
can
and
move
I say
this.
something like, and this is what we could do with Meredith right now, this role play, what we're describing right now. So let's put this up and we'll get to this in just a second. We'll role play this with her. Uh, but you say that to me, and I say to you, I mean, I would have to move other things around to make that happen. Um, so something would have to get pushed.
Sure. And so I'm going to draw the train a little bit. Alex, 100% understand you. And like, if you can't, that's 100% okay. Um, but you just, and I hate to even use the word, but what you just described me though was something that felt urgent to you.
Mm.
And what I'm afraid of is I'm afraid of losing momentum. And I know that time kills all deals. It also kills all, what do you call it?
Creativity, ideas,
All, yeah,
everything.
all everything. Like, so, like on a scale of 1 to 10, like how important is this to you? And
This task that you just asked me to do, or the thing that I have to push?
the thing that we just agreed to, the thing that we just both agree was really important.
Well, it is. I agree. I think that's going to make a big impact for us.
Awesome. Are there any things that are either lower priority or lower impact that you could displace for a time, maybe into that Tuesday
Well,
spot?
if I could miss this one team meeting that we're going to be talking about benefits for next year, if somebody could just send me a recording of that, I can miss that. I could go and do this, but I have to miss that meeting,
Bada bing, bada bing. Which, by the way, that we just now like we're gonna seal that deal at that point. The
right?
one thing I will say, there's a caveat. There's a little side order of fries I want to give you with this hamburger, Alex, and
Okay.
it's this. It's that when people are like, yeah, I'll commit to it. Sometimes, like if you're working with more than four people, you as a mentor are going to forget, and then that becomes a weight in your mind of like, oh, I gotta remember to remind them, I gotta remember to check, I got like it's like you might forget. So what I like to do is I like to build in um, fail safes into the accountability. Great, Alex, would you mind setting an appointment on the calendar and invite me to that so that I see it? Great,
Mm.
Alex, can you shoot me a text when that happened? That way I can rest at ease.
Oh,
And
this is gold.
so I want to
I hope
shift up
everyone's writing this down.
I'm going to shift that over to you. So the point is like once you agree to it, I've gotten you to do what? Agree to
Well,
it
I own
again.
it.
You
Yeah,
now you
yeah,
own it. And the one thing
yes,
about that the fourth mid array is the promise. When you promise something, it really is hard for people to get someone to break a promise that they made three or four times.
yes, yeah.
So anyway,
It's no, it's
just
so
some live
true.
action.
No, well, that's what we're here for. So everyone on the call, listen to this before we get Meredith involved here in just a second. That second part guarantees that what you ask to get done is going to get done. This is where most leaders fail. Do this by this time. Tell me when it's done. See ya. And it's like, no. Donnie said no. Put this on your calendar and invite me to it. Also, send me a text when you get to this stage, not the end. When you get to this stage, send me a text. Now you know progress. And they're bought into it. Why text at that stage? Well, because that stage blank 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 gives us this, and I just want to make sure that we're on the right. Oh, I got it. Cool. Yeah, yeah, sure. How long of a meeting do we need for that? No. I just said send me a text. We don't need a meeting. We don't need to waste time. Just send me a text when we're there. Okay, great. And so it's incredible. Like what Donnie just gave you is a formula, a template to go, and when you're scheduling things with people on your team that you inspect what you expect. Write that one down.
Mm-hmm.
Inspect what you expect
Mm-hmm.
and give people permission, right, to be able to communicate with you throughout the process. Because most people go, I need to get it done in the bubble. I'm all alone in this. I'm all alone in this. It's like, no, you're not.
It's
No,
on the
yeah,
pile.
you have
Yeah.
permission. Yeah, you got permission. Let's put me
Yeah.
into this calendar. Let's send me this note when this happens. If you get to a situation where you're spending more, look, this is really key, and you're spending more than 30 minutes on this one thing, stop and text me. If you get stuck, I give you stop. It's okay. Text me. There's no reason to get stuck. We may not need everything exactly the way you right. And so, Donnie, I think that's just so brilliant. Let's try this with Meredith.
I love
Hi,
it.
Alex. How can I help you today?
Meredith, I want you to say hi to everyone because you're actually live on a Zoom call for Leadership Live with Fuel. And you were supposed to be here live, but you were unavailable. So we're going to use your AI version. So say hi to everyone, and then we have some questions for you.
Hi, everyone. I'm so glad to be here with you all, even if it's through this AI version. Leadership Live with Fuel is such an exciting space to connect and share ideas about leading with confidence and turning uncertainty into your greatest advantage. I'm looking forward to your questions and helping you navigate the challenges and opportunities ahead. Let's dive in. What would you like to know?
Okay. So,
I've I've got one.
Donnie, you got one. So
Yeah,
Donnie's about
Meredith.
to ask you a question, Meredith.
Meredith, you talk about the ask for change formula. Can you explain what that is and why we need it?
Absolutely, Donnie. The ask for change formula is really the heart of how you turn uncertainty into your greatest competitive advantage. It starts with adapting your perspective, deciding that uncertainty isn't something to fear, but something to embrace as an opportunity. Next, you focus on people, listening deeply to your customers, your team, and your network to understand what problems really need solving. And finally, you commit to process, putting systems in place that keep you agile and ready to pivot quickly as change comes at you. This formula works because it's backed by centuries of research from companies and leaders who thrived through massive disruptions. When you apply it, you stop being a victim of change and start controlling it, which is exactly what you need in today's fast-moving world. Would you
Great.
like me to walk you
Meredith,
through how to
there
apply each step with your team?
not quite yet. There's something that you talk about that I think everyone here can learn from, and that is some practices to reach out to current existing clients that will change the landscape of how you either perceive yourself or do business. Can you talk about some things that we can do today with our existing clients that can elevate us into the place you're talking about?
Absolutely, that's a powerful question. One of the most impactful things you can do today is simply pick up the phone and reconnect with your existing clients, not to sell, but to listen. Ask them how things are going, what challenges they're facing, and what's changed in their world since you last talked. Really listen to their complaints, their frustrations, and their hopes. That's where the gold is. For example, Procter & Gamble famously asked customers what they liked and didn't like about soap, and that led to the invention of ivory soap that floats. When you listen like that, you uncover unmet needs and opportunities to differentiate yourself in the marketplace. It's not about pushing your agenda, it's about solving the right problems for your clients. If you want, I can help you design a simple conversation guide to make those calls more effective. Would that be helpful?
What do you think, Donnie? I think it's first of all, Meredith, you're spot on with your message, with your information, and the how well and easily it applies. And so, yeah, you know what? Let's show everyone a simple method that we'll actually send to them after you create it. So let's make this a little giveaway that everyone can take and use. So yes, please, let's come up with a simple guide to do this.
I love that idea, Donnie. Here's a simple conversation guide you can use when reaching out to your existing clients. Start with a warm greeting and genuine interest. Hi, I just wanted to check in and see how you're doing. Ask open-ended questions like, what's been going well for you lately? And what challenges are you facing right now? Listen carefully and take notes on any frustrations or unmet needs they mention. Ask, if you could change one thing about your experience with us or the market, what would it be? Thank them sincerely for their time and insights, and let them know you're committed to helping solve those problems. This guide keeps the conversation focused on listening and understanding, not selling. I'll be happy to help you package this
Meredith,
up.
can you give us more? Okay, so that's the initial. I love that. That's the initial. That's good. But they start giving us problems. How do we how do we discover the problem? Like in the Procter and Gamble example that you gave, they made it float. They discovered the thing that was most impactful that their customers mentioned, and they discovered that if they do this, this is going to help the majority of the people that buy their products. How does someone listen to discover that one thing that is the biggest problem that will also make the biggest impact for them if you can help them solve it?
Great question. The key to discovering that one impactful problem is to listen with curiosity and dig a little deeper beyond the first answer. When a client shares a frustration or a challenge, don't just accept it at face value. Ask follow-up questions like, can you tell me more about that? Or how does that affect your day-to-day? Look for patterns as you talk to multiple clients. If the same issue keeps coming up, that's a strong signal it's a big problem worth solving. Also, pay attention to the emotional impact. Problems that cause stress, frustration, or lost time tend to be the ones clients want solved most urgently. Once you identify a few common themes, prioritize the one that, if solved, would create the biggest positive change for the largest number of clients. That's exactly what Procter and Gamble did with the floating soap. They heard
That's
a
excellent. That's just excellent information. I really like that. Donnie, I know we're getting close to the top here. Do we have anything else for Meredith, or do we want to wrap up and get this
Let's
this content out to everyone that was here as a gift, or do you have something we should unpack one more thing with?
Alex, I think first off, let's wrap up. I think those are good things. I would say it's like, as I've made calls like this before, and I can say that there are sometimes, like, there is that emotional barrier of, like, man, what if people say something that makes me feel like maybe I'm not doing a 10 out of 10, you know? And what would you say just to the person that might be pulling back because they're afraid of what, I don't want to say the feeling, but sometimes we don't do the logical thing just because we're almost afraid to look.
Mm. So your question is, what would I say to someone that is in that state of mind of that?
A leader, yep. So let's just say a leader, because, like, I would say a leader in a company should have all of their people doing this once a year. Hey, we appreciate you. Thanks for being a part of what we do. What's
Oh,
been
no
going
question.
great? Is there anything that we can improve? I also like to say, like, is there, like what is it about us that you feel like shines? What's our unique advantage? And so sometimes customers will tell you things about you that you wouldn't even think about yourself. But when I try to get people to have this conversation, and I felt this myself, I'm just being honest, I feel like, oh man, what if they say something bad? Or what if they say something like we're 3 out of 5 instead of a 5 out of 5? Like,
Hmm.
and it causes someone to pull back. Like, how would you help someone to get over that, just that mental barrier to make this happen? Like, what do you think is waiting on the other side of this?
Okay, so first, I think reaching out to your customers more than once a year and being a listener, exactly as Meredith said. And my favorite question she asked, and I'll tell you what I'm going to tell somebody. My favorite question she asked right there, and when you go deeper, how does this affect your day to day? That is priceless. It gets someone to think about the things they are doing, not the overall picture, not the concept, not the big, abstract thing, but the day to day. Okay. Like right now, everyone on the call, somebody asked you, you told them a problem. They said, how does this affect you day to day? You'd go, okay. And you're making somebody, you are really, that's an earth-shattering question for them. Okay.
Mm,
That gets them to think about the now, the moment, the thinking, what they do. Okay. How would I get someone to get past this call reluctance or this, how should I approach this? Very simply. Okay. Hey, leader, this is very simple. Do not approach these calls with expectations. You are not calling with an expectation
that's
of a
good.
result. You are calling with genuine curiosity. Do not call to be like, I hope they say this. In fact,
Yeah.
I'm going to ask questions to get them to this. Stop it. That is when you go into it going, if they don't say that, my day's ruined. You already set yourself for failure, right? And so the way that I would approach this with a leader is just be curious, leave the expectations at the door, and just call and listen. That could change somebody's day. Just to let somebody open up and share, that could change somebody's day. And you know what could happen? Thanks for listening. Oh, by the way, I forgot about this, but this thing just happened, and we're trying to figure out how to solve that. Oh, how does that impact your day, day to day? Tell me more about that. How does that impact your day to day? Bang, you're in, and you're really listening, and you're just there. And so that's how I would approach it.
Curiosity is what a gift that is that we bring to the table. When I help people I work with people often to put their gifts into play for their profession. And one of those gifts, I think there's three that people almost never look at. So it's, what do you create? How do you connect? And what are you naturally get? Like, it's curiosity. And it's funny that when people lead, sometimes they become so mindful of all of the things they have to get done that they leave behind these valuable gifts. And curiosity is one of those. And if you're feeling uncomfortable with this, you might be feeling uncomfortable with something that really is there to make you a great leader, which is curiosity. How can you go to a different place without curiosity? Curiosity is what makes that fun, not just always laborious. And as we wrap up and say, listen, we hope that we've given you steps to understand how to deal with the unexpected and how to crush leadership fatigue, some practical things. Really, it is about maintaining the heart of why you're doing this to begin with, and curiosity is a big part of that. Alex, any words of wisdom before we wrap up and say goodbye to people after this 30 minutes of power?
No, I think you've done a beautiful job. I think you wrapped it up just fine. And I believe what information everyone got today are all things they can use and apply right away. Like that's the purpose. Fuel exists for you to apply your knowledge, not to try to remember it, not to try to hoard it in a backpack and be like, I know stuff. It doesn't matter. What can you do with the stuff you know? How can you apply that and impact the people around you, yourself first? Because when you're great, it impacts everything around you. So take what you learned, apply it today, try it with someone after this call. I know you have people on your team you can apply this with right away. So do it and see the change. Make it a habit.
Let's go, guys. If you can lead better, you can live better. And we are people of impact, influence, and income. And when we raise the tide for one person, we're doing it for others as well. Guys, go make it a great one. And we will see you on the next great episode. Thanks for being a part of our day.
Thank you. See you, Donnie.
Bye.
Bye-bye. All right.
Hey, man, made something out of the leftovers in the fridge, right?
Yeah,
it
was great. Yeah. No, this worked out great. I liked it a lot, and we'll get it out to people, and we'll get the version of it inside Fuel as well. So I think there's going to be a lot of great nuggets there. I do have to jump, Donnie.
Thanks for being
on
here in a pinch, bud. Yep, I'll let you go.
Yeah, my pleasure.
Talk later. See you, bud.
Yeah, let's grab a call. Thanks. And Scott, thanks.